So we can see that in customer data table, this is 2017 paper 2, question number 5, part 1. So we can see in this particular case, we have account number. Right? If you look at this, it's account number. Right? So this is the primary key. So you better write both. Right? Underscore. Now they in that exam, actually they have closely look at whether you have done it correctly. ACC underscore number. So spellings they have checked. Right? Make sure that you do not make any mistakes. So you will get 1 mark each and you will get 2 marks. Then what is the primary key for the rate table? Yes, rate table. Yes, Samaisha. Is it type or is it rate? That was the confusion, right? Rate is some kind of a number that could have the same value, isn't it? No, the answer is not the rate for the rate table. Should be type. Type means different types. Depend on the type, you are going to make the rate. Right? Like petrol and diesel, the rate, that rate can be same, right? So the answer take down for the rate table, it should be type. Right? Make a note of that. I think both of you had issues with that. Right. How about the usage table? Can we use month? Can we use account number alone? No, you can't. So then what is the primary key? Again. Okay, so let's look at the answer. Now, you cannot use month alone. You cannot use account number alone, but you can combine the two. So for this one, you can take both month and we say plus account number. So that will create, primary key for this. Okay. Any questions? Are you okay with that or you are not? Whether you agree on this one or not. So now I have given you all the three. So these are the primary keys. So maybe I can underline instead of, oh yeah, I can underline. So let me use underline. So account number is the primary key. Type is the primary key. Then month and account number both create the primary key. Right, next question. Write two foreign keys and their corresponding table. Now, find two foreign keys. Customer data table. Do you have any foreign keys in customer data table? Yes, Amasha? Yes. We can see the type is a foreign key. Why do you say foreign key? Because if you take these two tables, these two are the common. And this refers the primary key of the rate table. So this is a foreign key. So we can say that, like in previous case, right? Answer for the second part, we can say that for customer data, we can say that type is a foreign key. Yes, that's one. Another one, rate table. Do you have any foreign keys in the rate table? Right, in rate table, type is common, but it's not connecting the primary key of the first table. So type is not a foreign key. Rate anyway, it's not going to connect with any. But now look at usage. Usage, what we have? We have month. Month is no connection. But account number, yes, account number will connect the customer data table. So because of that, we can say in usage, we have another foreign key. Amasha, what was the foreign key in usage? Yes, account number. So if you look at, you can see account number is common with the customer data table, and then it'll connect to the primary key of the customer data table. So because of that, we know we can get this as well. So answer for the second part we have discussed, right? So we have customer data is type, usage is account number. Right, third one. What would be the most suitable table in the database to add the field customer address? If you were to add a new field customer address, which table you are going to use? Yes, Amasha? Yes, it should be customer data table, isn't it? Yes, because customer name is already there. So customer address could be added there. So the answer for the third one is yes, customer data. Right? So you have to use customer data. Now, remember in the exam, if you write this one with another, then you don't get any marks. So only answer should be customer data. විභාගෙදී very වෙලාවත් පොතේ customer data විතරක් නැතුව තව මොන හරි දීලා තිබ්බනම් ලකුණු හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ. හරි? Right. Fourth one. What tables should be updated if a new customer added ABC Navas of type R has used 120 units for the month of April? මෙන්න මේ කියන කතාවට මොකක්ද දෙන්නේ? Yes. What table should be updated? Okay. So first of all, we have to put Navas. For example, here the name should be typed, isn't it? We have to say A, B, C, Navas. Of type R. So we have to use some account number. Let's say 1005. And the rate is type R, right? Yes, it should be there. Then number of units you have to place it here. We know that is for the April. And account number we know 1005. Number of units we know 120. So that means we need to update two tables, isn't it? What tables? So we can say customer data and usage, isn't it? That's all. If you mistakenly say 3 tables, you don't get any marks. Okay, fifth one. Can you send me the answers in the chat? Right. What are the details? How do you write the answer for the fifth one? Updated record. So first of all, we have to have customer data. So you can have three values. What are the three values? A, B, C. Navas. Account number is 1005 R. So this is one way. That's the first one. The next one, usage. So in usage, we can have April 1005 120. Right. Last question. What table should be joined to run a query to find out total bill for AB Silva for January? Yes. Sixth one. Yes. What tables should be joined to run a query to find out total bill? So what is the total bill? Yes. So how do you find the total bill? Yes. So we can say all the three, right? We have to connect all the three. Why? Now the total bill for AB Silva January. So the January AB Silva. AB Silva means 1001. So 185 units, right? The rate we have to next good. So the rate for AB Silva is R, that is 10.5. So you have to multiply these two. So which means the correct answer is, you can say customer data, comma, right, rate, comma, usage. All the things. So we can say make a note of this. Again, remember the spellings, and also like if you have to include all the three, otherwise you won't get marks, right? If you take like, if you don't think that if you have like two, they will give you marks. No, if all the three table names are there, then you will get 2 marks. So that's how the marks were distributed. Right. Okay. So let's move on to question number 6. Right. Part 1. Send me the answers. Okay, so let's look at the theory first before we go on to the solutions. Right. So in this example, they are going to have a new information systems for a library. So we already discussed the steps, right? So first one is identification of requirements. We need to identify all the requirements. So that's the first thing. Then so that's done by Anwar, right? It says Anwar. Now the question asks implementation. Who involved in the implementation part, right? Implementation means the third part, right? This coding. So let's look at who did it. Right? Malini is the one who created the software, right? So the answer for the first one should be then Malini, isn't it? So who involved in the coding implementation? Because Malini is the one. Malini developed the software. So Malini is the answer. Because she is the one actually developed the system, developed the software. Right. Which phase of the system development life cycle was carried out by Saman? Okay, what Saman does? Yes. So Saman installed the system in the library, which is we call deployment. Right? So it's a deployment, isn't it? The term that we should use, the correct term should be deployment. You coding solution, you test it, then you deploy it. Right? So it's deployment. Deployment of the system. Then Krishna, what Krishna does? Yes, Amasha, I'm not getting answers from you. Krishna tested the software. So testing. So we call it what? If you look at the theory, so you can look at identification of requirements, design solution, coding solution, testing and debugging. So it should be testing and debugging. So we have to say this is testing and debugging. D. Write two different methods. Right? Write two different methods that Anva can use to understand the requirements of the proposed system. What are the methods that we could use? Yes, Amasha? We can have observation, yes. You can have interviews, questionnaires, observation, interviews, questionnaires, document samples, and prototypes. So we can have observation, interviews. Questionnaires. Document samples. And prototyping. So these are the answers, prototyping. Right, last one. Unware access whether the new system is able to run with the available computers in the library. What feasibility was accessed in this scenario? This is out of syllabus. Because of that, they have given 1 mark for everyone. Right? This feasibility answer is actually technical feasibility, but this is out of syllabus. Right? So the answer is technical feasibility, but yeah, you don't need to answer this. It's out of syllabus. The answer is technical feasibility, which I'm not going to write down, and they have given marks for everyone. Right, part 2. So in the part 2, yes, we have A to F. Write down the label and corresponding step. Yes, can you? Yes, Amaisha, can you answer this? Yes. So this is 2017 paper. Question part 2, question 7, last question. This question gives you a flow chart and it asks us to convert this to a pseudocode. So remember that usually we can say begin. Usually we use the term begin to start with. Then input, you can use it as it input, read. So it doesn't matter. So you can use it, right? So maybe I can use input A. I can say input D. You know, it's perfectly all right. Then we have a selection. So if you have selection, then we know it's if, right? We are checking whether A is greater than B. If that is the case, then if yes, then we need to display, right? So we have to say display B. Else, isn't it? We have to say display A. Then the finish is N if, right? And finally begin with N. That's all. So in this answer, you can use either input, get, read, or you can use display, show, print, output. Right? That's okay. Hmm? Right. So, Pramodi, what happened? Pramodi, I didn't get the answer. Did you send it to my? Yes. Okay, chat. I got it. Sorry. Yeah, your answer is correct, Pramodi. Right. Let's look at the last one now. So in this particular case, we have a flow chart. Rate 3 numbers and find the smallest. Write down the correct expression for missing labels P and Q. Okay, simply we need to decide. Now in this particular case, we have 3 input statements. And then we are checking A, whether A is greater than B. Yes and no. Then if you look at here, it's between B and C. Here it is A and C. So we know something to do here, right? We are trying to find the smallest one. So C should be small or B should be small. So what is the inequality? You are going to put it here that you need to identify, right? So that's what we need to figure out. Yes. How do you type? Yes. Amasha, Pramudi. Question number 6. Okay. Question number 7. There are some issues. So let me look at this. Right. We have given some inputs. Which ones give us the same output? That's the question. Right. So you have 3 circuits. We need to identify what will give you the same answer. Right. Now, how do you attack a problem like this? So one way to do is you can use this notation, draw through table, and you can find out. The other one is in general. Right. Okay, Puti. Yes, one way is you can look for the details. Now, if you have A, we know this is A dot B. And then we have B again. So we have A dot B dot B from one side. The other side we have A, right? So the first one is, right? We have A dot B dot B plus A. That's all. What is second one? We have A dot B. Yes. Plus A. Then the third one, A dot B dot A. Right. Okay. Now, if you do not know any other method, yes, you can simply think about uh, drawing truth tables, but it's not that compulsory. Right. So if you go through this with different values, when you say A dot B dot B, we know when we have B dot B, it is same. Then if you take A out, B plus 1, so it should be. Next, we have A dot B plus A. So all the three, okay, there was a mistake I have done for the last one, isn't it? Nobody told me, no. So there's a mistake I have made with the first one. We have A dot B plus A. So this is the first one. Then A dot B is coming from one side plus A. The last one, we have A plus B. So we have it. So if you, one way to do this, you can simply look at the truth table, and then you can recognize whether they are same or different. Right, but you, without solving, you can look at this. Now, for example, if you have A dot B, we know that it's A dot B plus A, right? So simply you can simplify. So these two are the same. Similarly, if you look at this, we have A dot A plus, right, B dot A. A dot A is A. So without solving, we can get the desired outcome. So all the three are the same here, same circuit. Right. Okay, so that's question number 7. Okay, so we have an error. This is question number 11. Question asks, which two can be used to find given term? Find and replace. This is represented in 1. This is adding a what you call it. So you can create a link. Then third one, spellings and grammar. Last one, Yapa. Right. So the first one is the answer for this. Question number 18. Which of the following occurred during the evolution of computer technology? With the evaluation, what has happened? Right? First one, processing power increased, yes. Number of tasks per square centimeters GPU increase, yes. Storage capacity of computers increased. Yes, that's also we can take it as a correct one. Right. Okay. Let's move to the next one. Okay, next we have 20. Which of the following is only input devices? Right? What are the inputs? If you look at keyboard, barcode reader, CD-ROM, right? Okay. So input devices only, right? Let's look at the first one, keyboard, it's an input, barcode, input, CD-ROM. CD-ROM, I would say the best would be to storage device, not an input. Scanner is an input anyway. So let's look at the second one. So we have keyboard, webcam, touchscreen. You have both input and output. So the second one is out anyway. Third one, mouse, keyboard, touchscreen, flattable. Okay, touchscreen, both input and output, you cannot take that. Fourth one also the same. So the only answer we can think of is the first one. Again, there's a small mistake in the first one. CD-ROM usually we considered as not as an input, as a processing. Right. So that's question number 20. Question number 21. Right. So what is the current measurement you have performed at home? Right. Which of the following can be used to measure the clock speed? So usually clock speed or computer speed is measured using hertz. And now what we have is gigahertz. So the answer 2018 question paper 1. We are discussing question number 22, right? So in this case, ask following tables are given. What is the suitable key for the primary key? So since ISBN you can take it as is, but separately we can have book ID which is unique. So in this particular case, book ID is the answer. Right. Which is the suitable key for the foreign key? Which is a suitable field for the foreign keys? Okay, let's take these examples and let's try to see. Okay. So the best one would be in this particular case for the foreign key. Right now, what you need to remember is we need something to connect it. So not the book ID because it's the same thing, book name, edition, everything is here, but publish ID. So which might connect to the publisher details. So we can say it's a publish ID. Right. So then we have question number 25. Right. Question asked correct regarding databases. First one, a collection of fields makes a record. That's okay. A collection of records makes a table, and collection of tables makes a data set, database. Second one is also like the same. Third one, right? We are getting collection of records, right? And then we make it available. No. Last one, a collection of tables makes a record. A collection of records makes a file, a collection. So those are the options, and the correct answer is the first one. Right. Okay. Question number 28. Right? A person wants to send 200 MB file, another person through the internet. Which of the following methods are suitable? Yes, we can attach as an email and send it. Use FTP service to transfer the file. Right. File transfer protocol, meaning transferring files, we can use software. But remember, how to use this. So first one is not going to work because emails, you cannot have large data sets. If it exceeds, for example, 25 megabytes, then you are in trouble. So the first one is not correct, and PFT service to my transfer the file. And then you should use online storage in Google Drive and send the link. So BC is possible. And that's the answer for the 28th question. Right. Okay, next one. It's question number 32. What is the correct HTML statement for inserting an image? Okay, when you want to insert an image, you will use right. So how do you put this correct statement? So imgsrc, and then you have to have an image name. And next one is the name that you actually use. So we should be able to identify this. Right. හොඳයි පුතේ. අපි එහෙනම් මෙතනින් අපි අදට නතර කරමු. ලබන සතිය අපි එහෙමුණොත් ඊටු ටික කතා කරමු ඩීටේල්ස් එක්ක. 2018 දෙක කොටස පුතේ අපි කතා කරනවා. ඒතර 2018 දෙක කොටස ඔයගොල්ලෝ කරලා තිබුණේ නැත්නම් පුතේ ඒකත් කරන්න අපි ඒකම ඒ ටිකක් ඩිස්කස් කරමු. මට එක්ස්ට්‍රා ක්ලාසස් දෙකක් ගන්න ඕනේ පුතේ මිස්සුණු නිසා කලින් සති දෙක මම ඒක ඉන්ෆෝම් කරන්නම් පුතේ සතිය දවස්වල ඔයාලට විවේක තියෙන වෙලාව මට ඉවන්න මම මැසේජ් එකක් දාන්න ඊට පස්සේ අපි එකට එකතු වෙලා ඒ ටික බලමු. හරි පුතේ එහෙනම් මම අදට නතර කරනවා මෙතනින්.